Ever wondered what a NASCAR champion's dream home looks like? Buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into Denny Hamlin's incredible mansion on Lake Norman.
This isn't just any house.
No, not at all. It's a statement. This place's southern charm, high-octane lifestyle, and a whole lot of that Hamlin grit all rolled into one.
You know, what gets me is how much of Hamlin's personality is part of the place. We're going to see how his drive to win, his love for the sport, even how meticulous he is. It's all there in the architecture, the landscaping, everything.
And speaking of meticulous, get this. The guy's got a showroom garage, glass walls, basically a shrine to his whole racing career.
You telling me?
Imagine that, seeing the car he won the Daytona 500 in, just sitting there, gleaming under the lights.
It's not even just showing off. It's more than that. It's that dedication to precision, that thing that makes a champion driver, a champion homeowner, always pushing for perfection.
So to really get this mansion, we got to start with where it is, Lake Norman.
Right? It's become the spot for NASCAR's elite. They want to get away from the roar of the track, the chaos.
Yeah.
Lake Norman is where they find that peace, that quiet.
It's beautiful out there.
It is. Crystal clear water, tons of greenery, peaceful and quiet.
Yeah.
And, it's not like it's far from everything. It's a stone's throw from Charlotte.
The heart of NASCAR.
Exactly.
So you've got the best of both worlds. The thrill of the race, the tranquility of the lake, and Hamlin's mansion, right in the thick of it.
And don't be thinking this is some modest little cabin in the woods. This is an estate, sprawling, somewhere between $15 and $20 million, I hear.
You heard right, 15 to 20 million. Built back in 2016, and get this, renovated this year. This thing is almost 30,000 square feet. But you know what's really interesting to me? The style of the house. Prairie style. Clean lines, geometric shapes, all about those natural materials.
You don't see that every day.
Yeah.
Not around here, anyway. But it fits. Hamlin's always been about looking forward, embracing what's new, but respecting history, too. Just like on the track.
And it's got this West Coast vibe, too. Lots of brick, neutral tones, huge windows everywhere.
Oh, those windows. The views must be incredible.
Breathtaking. You're looking right out onto the lake.
It's like he took this architectural style, the whole blending with the land, the horizon, all of that, and made it his own.
Okay, before we even go inside, we got to talk about this infinity pool.
Oh,
Imagine you're swimming, right? And you get to the edge, and it's like you're going to drift right out into the lake. It's surreal.
And the landscaping around it, genius. They've got those lush gardens, big trees, and that same dark stone they used on the patio. It all just flows, house to the lake, like it's all part of the same thing.
It's like the pool is just an extension of the lake itself. So seamless. And speaking of seamless, let's head inside. What about this living room?
This is where you see Hamlin's love of comfort. That and understated elegance. He's got it.
Can't you just picture it? Sinking into one of those plush sofas, maybe some sweet tea, sunlight streaming through those giant windows.
And right in the middle, there's this rustic wooden table. Just anchors the whole room, gives it that warmth, that welcoming feeling. It's a small thing, but it says a lot about the guy. Down to earth.
Totally. And you know me, I love the details. They've got this super sleek black fireplace, adds a touch of drama, and those light-colored brick walls, surprisingly cozy. But let's be real, we've got to talk about this bathroom. It's like something out of a magazine. Luxurious.
Marble everywhere, floor to ceiling, freestanding tub just begging for a post-race soak.
Yeah.
And a glass shower.
Yeah.
You could belt out your victory song in there, no problem.
And don't forget that chandelier. The sparkle. Add a touch of glam, wouldn't you say?
It's about the experience.
Oh.
This is where Hamlin goes to unwind after a long day at the track, his own little sanctuary. But don't think for a second that this house is all peace and quiet. It's built for fun, too.
Right. Remember that competitive spirit we talked about? Well, it's on full display in the entertainment areas of this house. First up, a full-blown bowling alley. I'm serious. Racing themed, of course, and enough neon lights to rival the Las Vegas Strip.
No way. That's amazing. I love that. And it makes sense, right? Hamlin loves to have a good time. It's who he is.
And if bowling isn't his thing at that moment, well, he's got a basketball court, too. Indoor, full-size court.
You're kidding.
Nope, professional-grade flooring. Even got his racing logos on the court.
Wow. He could be out there after a race, just shooting hoops, getting all that energy out.
I don't think I'd want to challenge him to a game, that's for sure. But you know what else really impressed me? The kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
It's a chef's dream, truly.
I bet. Dual islands, top-of-line appliances, those finishes. You can tell Hamlin enjoys the good life.
Yeah.
especially when it comes to food. Makes sense, right? You got to fuel that energy somehow.
And he loves to entertain, so I bet that kitchen sees a lot of action. Lake Norman cookouts, maybe?
Oh, for sure. Those are legendary. But
Oh.
we got to talk about the garage. It's like the heart of this whole place. That glass-walled showroom garage.
It's more than just a garage at this point. It's a statement piece, for sure.
Like walking into a museum dedicated to Hamlin's career. Those cars, they all represent a win, a moment. You really get a sense of what it took to get to where he is. All the dedication, the sacrifices, it's all right there in those cars.
Like a museum, but instead of dusty old things, you've got these powerful machines, each with a story to tell. And the Daytona 500 winner front and center, I bet. That car's got to hold some serious memories.
It's not even just about the cars themselves, it's how it's all set up. The lighting, the way they're displayed, everything is a collection carefully curated. You can tell this is important to Hamlin, that meticulous side of him, which, let's be honest, probably plays a big part in what makes him such a great driver in the first place.
That attention to detail, wanting everything to be perfect, it's all there. And you realize then, this mansion, it's not just a house. It's Hamlin reflected back at you. It's not just about winning races, it's about winning at life. And this place, this is proof.
It makes you think, too. Hamlin's not the only NASCAR driver who calls Lake Norman home. You've got Kevin Harvick. His place is amazing. Rusty Wallace, tons of them. It's like a little community.
It's like this exclusive neighborhood for racing royalty. I have to ask, though, what is it about Lake Norman that draws all these drivers in?
It's everything we were talking about before. The lake itself, it's beautiful. So peaceful, quiet. It's close to Charlotte, but it's also its own little world. And there's a sense of community there.
You think so, even though they spend their lives competing against each other.
Oh, absolutely. They're neighbors here, friends. They can just be themselves, relax.
It's like they've built their own haven, away from the races, the fans, all of that. Although Hamlin's mansion, it definitely stands out, even among all those amazing houses.
It really does, and I think it comes down to that personal touch we keep talking about. It's not just a beautiful house, which it is. It's a home, and it tells a story. Hamlin's story. That's what makes the difference.
Speaking of stories, what's the deal with the valuations on these places? Because Hamlin's, it's estimated at almost 10 million, but Harvick's, Wallace's, those are closer to 6 and 7 million. What's the reason for the difference?
Well, size is a big one. Hamlin's mansion is huge, 30,000 square feet, way bigger than the others. Plus, he just had it renovated, so that adds to it. But I think a lot of it comes down to those unique features we've been talking about. That garage, the entertainment spaces, the landscaping, it all just screams luxury
Yeah.
and exclusivity. You're not going to find that just anywhere.
It's like the difference between having a really nice car and then having one that's totally custom built, one of a kind. They both get you where you need to go, but the experience is totally different.
Exactly. With Hamlin's mansion, you're not just buying a house, you're buying a lifestyle.
A legacy.
A legacy built on hard work, dedication, and a whole lot of Southern charm, too, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
It's funny. We started out talking about Denny Hamlin, the NASCAR champion, right?
But looking at this mansion, going through it all, I feel like we got to know Denny Hamlin, the person. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. It's more than just a house. It's his values, his passions. You can see it all.
It makes you think. Success isn't just about trophies and wins, right? It's how you live, the people around you, the mark you leave on the world.
And Hamlin, he's done that here. He's built a place that shows who he really is. That Southern hospitality, the competitiveness, but also that genuine, down-to-earth charm. That's the real deal.
It's kind of inspiring, isn't it? Makes you want to look around at your own life. Am I living in a way that reflects my dreams?
It's a good question to ask, and I think that's the biggest takeaway from all of this. We're not just looking at some celebrity's house. It's about realizing our environment. It shapes our thinking, our goals, everything.
So whether you're a huge NASCAR fan, love design, or just appreciate a good success story, I think we can all learn something from Denny Hamlin's place on Lake Norman. It's like a reminder, we can create spaces that inspire us, push us to be better.
Who knows, maybe one day we'll be doing a deep dive into your dream home.
Now there's a thought. But for now, that's it for a look at Denny Hamlin's incredible mansion. Until next time, keep dreaming big and keep diving deep.